Good morning. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to check. 70. Previous iteration of the loop. Because this loops. Why isn't this one a table reference? Or actually just a reference? Where does this mutate? Here. Transaction ID dot replace. That meant something else when this was value type. If we expect that transaction mutates it, then this no longer has to do anything. Reviewing some AI code at the moment. Smash. Transaction chunk. Yes, in this case, you need that. Part of me wants the transaction ID to just be really, really, really simple. Part of me wants it to have the string in it. Basically, what is it here? This guy. Have a DB path. We need the DB path. Should it be part of the transaction ID though? I don't know. I think I'd be happy with it being here. And then let's just bump these numbers. For this database, this is the transaction ID and so forth. Love it. Which does mean that some of this other code will be simple again. Basically, we can have our copy types. No longer need to own on these things. However, I expect that we pass this in mutably. I kind of like the pattern. In these cases, I want to see what's changed. Okay, we'll reference. And this is a ref because transaction ID, in this case. Okay. What's the error in here? Oh, that's gone away, yes. No, transaction ID is still in transaction chunk, but we are missing DB path. Let's get that wired up. It was here. Field, such field. Really? because see, I think it's really just the LSP hasn't figured it out yet. There we go. I just had to close that buffer. Okay. Let's keep this one. Rid of that. Ah, good. Okay. The 8 errors. Are they in this file? That goes away. Oh, good. Okay. So what's going on here? Taste. Yeah, this whole test goes away. I do not see the value in this test. I like that change. I think some pieces just weren't where I wanted them. active DB path for including in transaction ID. What is this? Why is string to lossy? Because it's a string. Ooh, that hides so much right there. Okay, let's change the string proto so that this is not a string. So what does a string mean in .proto? I know what it means in Rust. It's probably some UTF-8 encoded concept. No. The other side of the house, I think we use bytes. Yeah, bytes. So we can just pass the raw content. Let's do it. Let's change from using a string to using bytes. Much better. A quick build, done. All right. Now we fix everything. Let's get the LSP to reload some of that. Okay. There's bytes. Good. That we're passing the mutable one. We're using the same one on every frame. Good. Mismatch types, yes. DB path. Now, path off, I think I remember a warning on that. Was it? Into OS stir. And then maybe it was on OS string that I had the issue. Or, I don't know, I'm gonna undo that. I'm gonna undo that. Okay. This way I build it. Can up here. Say, where do we get to in order for this to happen? So this should not be possible to exception out if we even if we just unwrap there, which I don't want to do. We have send it. Send this. It'd be off of wall log. Wall log has a new. It has dbders where we take Base? Self.state. What object are we in? What struct is this? Warlog. Okay, warlog. Yeah, I don't think this can actually be created as non-UTF-8 characters. What do we do? Basically, if somebody at this point has put a database into the system that has non-UTF-8 characters, the system will cry when we try to send this chunk across. I don't want data plane to crash if we have an issue here. Maybe it is best for it to just blow them out. The challenge is if some kind of web app allows for UTF-8 data and their non-UTF-8 data to make it into something like, say, a username. Right? Maybe there's a database per user, and you identify the user by their name for whatever reason. Probably not a great idea. However, that's stored on disk. And generally, you wouldn't want user input to end up on disk as a file name. But if we're hosting somebody's application and they allow it, it's not great. The challenge with sending OS strs across machines is that it's a superset of UTF-8. So it's UTF-8 plus plus. As the encoding is unspecified, any subslice of bytes that is not valid UTF-8 should be treated as opaque and only comparable within the same Rust version built for the same target platform. For example, sending the slice over the network or storing it in a file will likely result in incompatible byte slices. That's the rub. See OS string for more encoding details and standard FFI for platform-specific conversions. So what we need this for is to be able to tell data plane on the far side of the system which database it's for. Because here we have the database name. And if that were to change at the encoding format of, say, an OS string, that wouldn't be fun. So we do need to get it into some consistent state before we can do anything with it. All right. I think we need some UTF-8 checks further ahead. Tokyo Bluff, thank you for the follow. And we should probably. So I'm okay with. Hmm. This actually has to have both salt1 and salt2 to disambiguate between two databases randomly having the same salt value. Let's make a note. Yeah, what do we do for this? Maybe we just explode. What do I ever use relative DB path for? Say that's where we create it. Here, we get it from the checksums DB. Fine. Get it for sending over the network. This is a test. Another test. And a declaration. What's this? I find myself trying to use C++ terms for whatever reason. I don't know. It's really the definition. This could be string because it is cheap to go to OS string, as OS string is a superset. And doing a path buff. Let's see, path buff from string just calls OS string from string inner buff from string. I wonder what that does. What is their inner type? A string inner buff. Where's buff? Sys OS buff. That looks like it's internal. Basically, what I'm thinking is of pushing this concern further ahead, right? Like path buff. We wouldn't use a path buff here. This would just be a string. Something like that. Why? Because we're going to send it over the wire. And we need some consistent representation. Not just for the wire, but for database here. So we can't have this changing. UTF-8 is UTF-8. Excuse me. Um, Let's just do ASCII. That's a joke. Oh. So if we do string here, it's going to break everything. Wall log to DB path. What is this? Converts the wall log to its corresponding database path. Wall path. Ah, yes. Where is this used? Test. Here. So it's actually used there. It's used in one place when creating a new wall log state. A new wall log. Then we could return string there. What else? That's going to break everything. Yes. So we have the relative path with a modified file name. Returns an option. It's kind of sucks. I want to be able to use path buff. I like those types. Um, I don't want to have to wrap it with like a UTF-8 path, but maybe we do that so that we know that it is a valid UTF-8 path type. We just use that everywhere. Type path. Huh. UTF-8 paths. What is this? Camino. This is exactly what I want. They're guaranteed to only contain UTF-8 encoded data. Unicode 1, yes. Oh man, I actually worked on a system that used shift JIS encoding. It was a prototype for Sony digital radio. There are already many systems, such as Cargo, that only support UTF-8 paths. Therefore, many programs that want to manipulate paths do assume they contain UTF-8 data and convert them to str as necessary. However, because this invariant is not encoded in the path type, conversions such as path to str unwrap need to be repeated again and again. Right, then wrapper. Most APIs are the same. Okay. Synchron, how are you? Welcome. Did you do it? 10-minute warning, y'all. Kidding. Um, yeah, you're here much, much earlier. Oh, that's great. That's great. I think I'm going to try and use Camino. Let's see, is there anything else? Type path. That's got a bazillion users. Let's say dependence. Yeah, you got here much, much earlier, man. All right, let's pull in Camino. There's cargo. Camino. There we go. And oh, now we just change everything to use Camino. UTF-8 path buff and UTF-8 path. All right, well, so that we will add to data plane. We're going to want this here. We will want this in data archive. Doesn't care, does it? Maybe VFS. We'll see. data plane. Start here. We are using pathbuff here. A lot of our errors. We just get rid of that. Say this is a UTF-8 pathbuff. We'll just do that over and over again. Oh, the application DB dir. Deserialize. Not satisfied. Oh, I have to add a feature. Okay. Let's see, what else do they have? Feature flags. Saturday 1. Let's just say Saturday. Oh, says it doesn't have Saturday. Oh, I added that to the wrong thing. There we go. Good. Okay. Should be there in a moment. Pick it up. We did that for the right thing, didn't we? Data plane, Camino, Saturday. Ooh, functions makes the path absolute without accessing the file system. What? Interesting. Current directory is used. Interesting. What are we doing with UTF-8 paths? Great question, Zenacron. So, let's start here. So, imagine that we have three different machines, right? We have machine here, middle machine running data archive, and a third machine also running data plane. We need to be able to communicate which database is being mutated from start to end. And basically, OS_stir, which pathbuff is based on, if you take the bytes of that, they're not guaranteed to be the same per OS per Rust version. So we need something stable to be able to represent location on disk. Because we actually need a stable version, as part of our storage engine, we're going to use UTF-8. And it turns out that there's a crate that just wraps the UTF-8 bits already, wraps and produces a UTF-8 version of pathbuff and path. So in this case, I'm trying to represent, I was just taking it out for a little bit of a test drive, thinking, why not just put it here in these settings instead of whatever, but arguably they don't have to be in this exact file, but just wanted to test it out. This is the settings directory. Have UT, oh, document is not satisfied. Got it. Yeah. Okay. So arguably we can't put it in here. That one place. We can't use it in that one place. Everywhere else, though. Data plane. Do we have path buff or path in here? UTF-8 path buff? Great. Now this UTF-8 path buff. Should be able to convert that here. Ah, but how do we go from one to the other? We need to be able to represent these issues. Now, in this case, when we hit run, if for whatever reason application dbster is not valid UTF-8, we should cry and crawl under our desks and just generally relax and get over our little moment. Okay. But UTF-8 path buff, what do we have on UTF-8 path buff? From path buff. Gives you a result. Yeah, try from. Got it. See. I, with context. Um, AppDB error. Hmm. Toss a source on there. It is add a comma. Something like so. Toss a question mark on there. Try operator. AppDB dir. UTF-8. Oh, that's right. And I've been renaming all of these. FIFO. Ooh. Should name that to. Yeah, what is the issue with this FIFO? Join error. Okay. Clippy was yelling at me about having the the duplication, right? Error dot something error, which, okay, I agree with. It's fine. Type mismatch resolving, blah. Expected error found from path buff error. Try from. Why is that? I thought from path buff error. So this is what we want. Try from path buff. From. Try from path buff. Yeah. Oh, because it's not a standard IO error. It's a Camino from path buff error. Oh, that's better. One. Not just one error, one whole file. Done. I don't care about main. Let's work on the TX side of the house. Look at that path buff. Boom, gone. Full FIFO. UTF-8 path buff. We just propagate this. Ooh, create. Look at this. Where P is. Okay, that's fine. We're just telling it to create something. I should have used the other shortcut to get back to the same list. Data plane TX. Maybe changes. Rid of path buff. Mutation handler. Hmm. Mm. Oh, this should return UTF-8 path. If we do this, do we get that conversion automatically? Aster, what? With file name. Wester, DB file name. Options stir. Ah, here from bytes. There is nothing like this, is there? Yeah, no. Can't do like a stir from bytes. So this function actually has to change. Oh, yeah, no. We have here circle db file name, extract the file name, and remove the dash WAL suffix. Oh yes, Doku is for generating example configuration files. Yes. Yes, it is. So we'll have file name. So we get the file name, which may or may not exist. Why do we want it as bytes so that we can find the last position and get a slice off of it? So given that in this case we are trying to return an unknown. Yeah. Huh. I just do wall file name window. Yes, because it's not. How about we just get the position from the right of something like that? Is there no R position on stir? Oh, that's Camino docs. Where's it's on bytes? It's on iterator. File name is a stir. And stir, I thought we could say iter on that. Oh, we need to do like chars or something, right? Chars. So V is a char. It's a single char. Oh, chars. Where's our subster? Returns the byte index of the first character of the slice matching the pattern. Great. And is there an R find? There is. That's all we want. Or the entire thing. Oh, interesting. What does it return? All right. It's supposed to take a pattern, and the pattern receives. Oh, no. There we go. Expected string relative DB path is now a UTF-8 puff. Okay, propagating back up the other way. Get database path, base path. Oh, this is in DB checksum. Lovely. Interesting, Ezra. I could just alias this at the top of the file. Well, what do we have here? Hash DBs, built-in DB, 2-star. As stir. I no longer have need of this. Lovely. Because it's guaranteed. Ensure database is valid UTF-8. That's just done. What's going on here? Oh, yes. Because walkter, it returns UTF, excuse me, regular path bus. So here we get a path. So when we go to list databases for this case, this is in DB checksum. Now, if it is not valid UTF-8, we should return none. At least in this crate. This crate is a bit of a library, so it should be a bit more tolerant. And we expect. So we converted. Let's do it the other way. Try from directory. Okay, good. Match. We're using for error logging here. Tracing. Fine. Let's see. Me know. Path path. From path path. Not path. Interesting. Partially equal. There's not like a try from on this. Okay. Oh, we're looking at path buff. Okay. Struct path. Oh no. There's no try from. There's some froms. How do we know if it's correct though? Maybe they have some migration. Oh, this is. How do I get there? You know? Oh, I clicked on path. Hmm. Of course, I don't have try from on that. Try from, try from, try from. There it is. Try from. Yes. Okay. UTF-8 path. Try from is not satisfied from. It looks like it should work. Oh, interesting. Actually, we have to. Oh, turbofish. We love the. All right. Just increase the nesting here. Okay, good. Now we have our UTF-8 path buff. Really? Oh, UTF-8 path. Great. No method name to stir because it's not needed. So in this case, when we strip the prefix of that, then we just return some. All right. Return relative path and get rid of this binding. Okay. There we go. All right. I'll pick up this later. I have to go do some chores this morning this week. So I have to end my stream just a little earlier. So Xenocron, 40 minutes early. Because she didn't know about the adjustment that I have to make because blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I know. All right. No, no, no. You're not cursed. No, we're just helping out a neighbor. So I gotta go feed their chickens real quick with the kids. Oh, we're gonna raid toggle a bit. It's been a while. Oh, all right, y'all. Have a great Monday. Till next time. Bye bye.